started another Los Angeles city at night, city at night, city at night, city at night. Whoa, come on. Your hair is burning, hills are filled with fire. If they say I never loved you, you know they are a liar. Driving down your freeway, midnight alleys roam, cops in cars, the topless bars, never saw a woman so alone, so alone, so alone, so alone. Motel money, glitter madness, but Jane moved from glad to sadness.
RNZ News at 2 o'clock. Kia ora, good afternoon. I'm Karen McCarthy. The number of new daily COVID cases in Nelson Marlborough has jumped by 9 to 14 active cases altogether. Another one will be officially added to tomorrow's figures as it came in after the cut-off time. The Ministry of Health says the cases are made up of 2 clusters, with 11 in one and 3 in the other. A possible connection between the two is being investigated. Throughout the country, 172 new cases have been reported today, including 142 in Auckland and 15 in Waikato. In Bay of Plenty, no further cases have been associated with Te Ako ki Papamoa School, but Toi Te Ora Public Health believes more are likely. South Africa has recorded a sharp increase in coronavirus infection, with just over 8,500 new cases in 24 hours. That's twice as many as were reported on Monday. Here's the BBC's Nomsa Maseko.
The Omicron variant has now become dominant in what is the beginning of the fourth wave in South Africa. There's been a sustained increase in new COVID-19 infections in many parts of the country. The health department has said the increase has been reported in 7 of the country's 9 provinces. There's also been a slight increase in hospital admissions. The National Institute for Communicable Diseases has said most of the people who've been hospitalized have not been vaccinated against coronavirus. The World Health Organization has said the new variant has now been detected in 23 countries around the world.
The first confirmed case of Omicron has been discovered in the United States and California. The person is a traveller who recently returned from South Africa and tested positive on Monday. They are fully vaccinated and have so far displayed mild symptoms. Infectious diseases expert Anthony Fauci says it was inevitable Omicron would reach the US.
This is what we call in medicine an N equals 1, which means that you really can't take anything away from a single patient. We feel good that this patient not only had mild symptoms, but actually the symptoms appear to be improving.
Meanwhile, Fiji's health ministry says travellers who arrived from African countries in the middle of last week have tested positive for COVID-19, but it's not yet known whether they have the Omicron variant. The front bench National MP Simon Bridges, who chose not to contest the party leadership earlier this week, has been appointed the party's new finance and infrastructure spokesperson. New leader Christopher Luxon says he will play a critical role in the leadership team and they will work closely together. He says Mr Bridges is well suited to prosecute the wasteful spending decisions, spiralling debt and rising costs of living occurring under the current government. The rest of Mr Luxon's caucus reshuffle will be announced before Parliament resumes next week. The Anglican Bishop of Auckland says the church apologises unreservedly to the victims of one of Dilworth School's worst paedophiles. Ross Douglas Brown was this morning sentenced to 6.5 years in prison after admitting 16 charges, mostly of indecent assault. Bishop Ross Bay says there is no place for the offending within the Anglican Church. He says now the court process is complete, a tribunal will take place to determine Brown's standing in the church. Mr Bay says permanent removal from the priesthood is one of the sanctions available in such cases. The new United States ambassador to New Zealand says he will focus on environmental issues.
You all ready to go? I'll wait for a sec. You're all good? Take your time, All good. Good to see you. Hey, well, firstly, kia ora and good afternoon, everyone. Can I just say thank you for coming along today. You might remember it was less than 48 hours ago that I took over the leadership of the National Party, and I said very clearly that we have reset and that we are back. And really what we are focused on is actually getting things done, overcoming the PR and spin, and unleashing enterprise in the New Zealand economy. And I talked a lot there about improving the economy so that we could improve productivity, so we could raise incomes, so that we can have higher wages and salaries and give people more choices. And so today what I wanted to do was to be able to come here and to this business of David Stewart from this fresh green grocers market here. He's a great example of what I'm talking about. He's a guy that fundamentally has been doing this business for over 20 years. He's taken a punt, he's taken a risk, he's invested his own money, he's grown a business, he's built customers, and he's developed really great staff. And so this is the example of what we're talking about, is how do we unleash enterprise and get New Zealand moving and being ambitious again. Now, I'm supposed to be here with my good friend Simon Bridges, but I want to tell you what's happened is in the last hour, one of his sons has had an accident at school and now he's in hospital. And so Simon texted me 20 minutes ago to say that he can't be with us. And I've told him, mate, please just stay with your family. But I wanted to announce today that Simon Bridges is going to be our finance and infrastructure spokesperson for the National Party. He's going to be number 3 in our lineup. And I really wanted to be able to come here with Simon, have him here, and I think he's going to be amazing. For those of you who don't know, Simon and I we're good friends. We've been friends for a long time. I worked with him in my past life when he was the outstanding Minister of Transport. We did a lot of work together around electric vehicles and also around airline alliances. But he is a really prodigious talent. He's got really complementary skills. He's got a big brain and he does a great work ethic. So he's going to be taking it to Grant Robertson. And as I said, back on when we took over the leadership, we are going to make sure we have a top team that is person on person, much better than the government. And I think Simon Bridges taking it to Grant Robertson is going to be a really great contest. And I no doubt about it, he'll make an outstanding finance infrastructure minister for New Zealand. So apologies that Simon can't be here. He sends his apologies too, but I hope you'll understand. I really want him to be with his family at this time. So with that, really it's open to you guys and any questions you may have.
Chris Bishop would have wanted finance. What have you got left for him?
Well, look, no. Today is all about making the announcement for the number 3 in our lineup. We will work through, as I said, we will have a complementary team. I'm a new person to politics. I can bring the leadership, but I also need to make sure that we assemble a top team that has complementary skills to me, and we'll be making those announcements on Monday morning.
To what extent are you going to be rewarding those who've done the real hard money? Are you going to reward them with front fees?
Well, that's what we want to do. We want to make sure that we put high-performance people who've been doing the work up against key tasks and up against key ministers. As I said, I think by Monday morning, when you see the full team, you'll sit there and go, righto, what does this person on that person in the government look like, and who would you prefer to have as a minister?
What experience does Simon have in finance?
Well, look, he's headed the Finance and Expenditure Committee. He's also been a great transport minister, which links him very, very strongly into infrastructure. But the important thing is he's got a big brain and he can dive into some of the big fundamental issues that we've got to face going forward. Is fundamentally, after 30 years, how do we create an economy that generates more income for people? Because New Zealanders are some of the hardest working people on planet Earth, but we're not yet able to generate higher wages and salaries. And when we do that, we get more choices with our lives.
His background's in law, though. There's not someone like Andrew Bailey that used to be a merchant banker. Is he not more qualified for this role?
Look, Simon's the guy we need to go up against this government and to prosecute the case and to communicate what we're doing to the New Zealand people, and he'll do an exceptional job.
How much of this is about appeasing him, and do you trust him?
No, look, I have to say, as I've been saying all the way through, with all my conversations with my 33 colleagues over the last 4 or 5 days, fundamentally we have had to, we've had a different conversation, which is, do we want to put the past behind us and leave that there, and we want to move forward as a new team? And that's exactly the conversation. So there's been no deals done, there's been nothing like that. It's actually fundamentally been about making sure we put the right person on the right tasks that we've got going forward.
So Simon didn't come to you before he pulled out and said, I want finance?
Simon, we had conversations with all my colleagues and it was along the same lines. Do you want to keep doing the things that we've been doing it, or do we want a fresh start, turn the page, go forward? And all our caucus decided to do that.
Was this promise of the portfolio what made him withdraw from the leadership bid?
No, we had, as I said, we had no conversation about the actual, what he would do. I just wanted to make sure we're using the talent that we've got within the whole caucus. And the conversation, you can imagine, after the last 4 years, has been very honest within the caucus, which is fundamentally, do we want to carry on, or do you want to turn the page and focus on the things that matter to New Zealanders rather than the things that are happening within the National Party?
You've got a lot of work to rebuild National's credibility. How can you reassure people that?
Well, we just got to start delivering, don't we? I mean, that's my background, sort of having worked in large organisations around the world and in New Zealand and forging really good teams. That's why I was selected uncontested as the leader, because I come with no baggage from the recent events, and the caucus have wanting me to do that job of pull them together and unify them, and we will go through it. And the first test was, can we get an uncontested leadership transition, which we did. That is how the National Party used to do things until recently, and so that's a very good first step. So, but I get it. We've got 413,000 New Zealanders that have left the National Party. And I want to say to them directly, we want you back, and our job is to earn your trust and to follow it up with words, with action.
Speaking of trust, how much do you trust Simon Bridges?
Oh, absolutely. Total trust him. As I said, he's a good friend, and we've been friends for a long time because of our relationship in my past life and the work that he did as a Minister of Transport. He was an outstanding Minister of Transport, by the way. I mean, I don't know whether you fully appreciate what he achieved and what he did, but he did a great job.
It appears you've got lots of friends, you've got a friend here as well, but why Cottingham, or why didn't you get Simon to come to you?
I wanted to come and see him here, and I wanted to actually come and see this business, and I think it's appropriate, I want to make sure that we see someone who's made a big investment. When business people actually go to the bank, almost 30% of them take their mortgages and they go invest that money in their businesses. You're taking a big punt. And then you have an idea, and then you take a big risk, you hire people, you make a business happen, and that's the stuff that we've got to do. At the moment, if you're a small business person in New Zealand, this government doesn't care about you. They make it really hard for you to get ahead. And New Zealanders aren't getting ahead. Incomes are growing at half the rate of costs in New Zealand. So, we've got work to do, as I said, and that's why Simon's the right guy to take that to the government.
How much of this is about showing a unified approach, though, coming to Simon's territory, to this particular spot?
Well, no, but it's really about the practicality of it. I'm on my way back from Wellington to Auckland. I've been in Wellington for the last couple of weeks, and I wanted to pop in here and get going. And again, I don't have any baggage from the past, and as a result, that's why I'm here to bring everyone together.
What can you tell us about the rest of the caucus and what announcements are going to be coming and when?
So that's the work that we're going through now, from number 4 to 33, but more importantly, finding the skill set of each individual and making sure they're pointed where their skills, abilities and experiences really sit.
So why was it important to announce this one first?
Because I want to signal that Simon is a really critical part of our team going forward. So you've seen myself, you've seen Nicola Willis, you've now seen Simon Bridges, and going forward we'll make sure that by Monday, as I said, the rest of the caucus will be in place.
Okay.
No, sorry, can't do anything about that. So no, but appreciate you guys all coming out. And again, apologies for Simon. He felt terrible about it, but I'm sure you'll understand.
What about Todd Muller? Any chance of coming back?
I'm going to bring everybody into that caucus. We turned the page. It's 100% trust. It's a new beginning. National stops talking about itself, and it focuses on the people of New Zealand, and it gets going. And so there's everyone's got skills, talents that we need to use and get in the right place.
Is he keen to stay on under your leadership?
Yes, we're going to have roles for Judith and Todd and everybody, all past leaders.
Past 2023?
That'll be a decision for Todd to make, but ultimately everyone's back in our caucus. Yep.
The fact you're announcing this one so early, does that suggest that this was a decision made as part of negotiations?
No, as I said to you, no negotiations. Honestly, when you've been in the situation we've been in the last 4 years, you have to get really real with each other, which is, do you want to carry on the way we've been doing it, or do you want to do something for the New Zealand people and turn the page and reset it? And it's a hard reset, and it's very focused on the future. And so that is, I appreciate you may find that hard to understand, but that is where the point we have got to. And so that's why everybody came together and actually said, right, we're going forward. And so, I've always, Simon's been a good friend, and I said he's got great skills, and he's also very complementary skills to me. If you think about his political knowledge, if you think about where his strengths are, his ability to communicate really well, all those things, we'll work together extremely well on this. Okay, guys, can I just say thank you very much for coming out, and here's hoping Simon's son gets better quickly. Appreciate it. Take care. Okay. Thank you.
Oh.